How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I was wondering if what you thought about us maybe
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The South Union Township Supervisors presents the South Union Township Sports Network today from Elizabeth Forward High School. It's high school girls basketball as the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs take on the Elizabeth Forward Lady Warriors. Hi, everyone. This is Joshua Scully alongside Bill Dice tonight with the South Union Township Sports Network. This cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Gary, if you're listening tonight, we hope that you're enjoying the new year. Again, this is Joshua Scully. Tonight we have Bill Dice with us, and he's also going to operate the camera for us tonight, so thank you, Bill, for that. And we're going to be sharing our starting lineups and a pregame show with you here momentarily. Thank you for checking us out on the South Union Township Sports Network. If you're watching this game on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, we'd like to let you know that South Union Township Sports Network games and programs are now available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television to find the archived broadcasts, or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for live games, facebook.com/South Union TV. And a special thanks to everyone who helped make this broadcast possible tonight. Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Bill, this Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs team, under the direction of head coach Stuart Davis, has won 32 games. If you count last season into this season, they have won 32 times. They have lost just 9 games in that span. 4 of those 9 losses, though, at the hands of this Lady Warriors team.
Yeah, Josh, I didn't know Coach Davis's record was that good. I know both of us will take that winning percentage in a heartbeat. But this Lady Warriors team has been a bugaboo for the Lady Mustangs. They suffered a defeat back on December 16th by 4 points, but that game, of course, was without Oriana Sumter, so hopefully we'll see a much different result tonight. But the Lady Warriors do sit atop this section standings at 7-0, so the Lady Mustangs are trying to chip away at that lead. They're 2 games behind, so it looks like it's a second-place battle right now for the Lady Mustangs, but let's see what the rest of the season brings.
Before we get into the starting lineups tonight, let's take a moment and talk about 4A Section 3, where the Lady Warriors and Lady Mustangs find themselves at the top of that section. Elizabeth Forward has an overall record of 10-3. They are 7-0 in the conference. They've scored this season 756 points. They've surrendered 588. The Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs are right behind them, a conference record of 6-2. Keep in mind, the Lady Mustangs do have the 2 conference losses. They lost to South Park early in the season. They lost to Elizabeth Forward earlier in the season, as Bill pointed out. All of these Lady Mustang losses have been very, very close games, including the earlier loss to this Lady Warriors team, in which Oriana Sumter did not play. The Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs 6-2 in the conference, 11-4 overall. They have scored 896 points. They have surrendered just 490. In girls basketball in the WPIAL, across Class 4A, regardless of section, no team has scored as many points as this Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs team has. In fact, the next closest team is North Catholic, and they're essentially a full game plus behind the Lady Mustangs. North Catholic playing in Section 1-4A. They've scored 820 points this year. The Lady Mustangs are going to go over, Bill, that 900-point threshold in this game.
Yeah, you know what, Josh? They've been really impressive this year. I really look forward to the getting to the postseason and see what the Lady Mustangs can do in the postseason. We got some tough teams. Of course, Elizabeth Forward, Blackhawk, North Catholic, one's forget me, a Catholic. It's a Catholic with North Catholic. Who's up there?
Oakland Catholic.
Oakland Catholic. Yes, the name was getting out of my mind there. But so it's going to be a tough road ahead in the 4A girls playoffs. But Lady Mustangs got the talent. Like we said, they have the big 3. But Irwin and Schwartzfigger are playing good too in that starting role. So they're going to be a tough out for anybody. But I just look forward to seeing what the rest of the season brings. The Lady Warriors are on a 9-game winning streak when I was looking at the standings. And also the Lady Mustangs, they have not lost this calendar year yet. They have 5 wins in a row since losing to Indiana 27-24. And none of those games have really been particularly close. The closest game was against South Park last week, and that was a 17-point game. So they're really playing well right now. So I look forward to the postseason coming up here in a few weeks.
Great opportunity for the Lady Mustangs team in that South Park game back on January 17th that Bill just mentioned. That was a little bit of revenge for the Lady Mustangs, who did fall to South Park by 2 points back in December. But as Bill points out, the Lady Mustangs are coming into this game very hot. They have beat Mount Pleasant, Bell Vernon, Ringgold, Yock, and South Park over the course of their last 5 games. And when Bill says those games were not especially close, sans the South Park game, which was still a 17-point margin of victory for the Lady Mustangs, included in that a 40-point win over Mount Pleasant, a 40-point win over Bell Vernon, a 72-13 win over Ringgold, and a 68-17 win over Yock. So this Lady Mustangs team right now is indeed firing on all cylinders. Let's not take anything away, though, of course, from the Lady Warriors. The Lady Warriors are also running quite a winning streak right now, going all the way back to December 12th. The last time this Lady Warriors team lost was at the hands of Thomas Jefferson. You have to go back to December 9th for their last loss, a 69-27 defeat at the hands of Thomas Jefferson. Since then, they have beaten Southmoreland, Laurel, Highlands, Mount Pleasant, Seton, LaSalle, Baldwin, Bell Vernon, Yock, South Park, a very close South Park game, by the way, 49-43 back on January the 13th, and a 66-17 win over Southmoreland. Let's talk now starting lineups. We're going to start with Laurel Highlands and head coach Stuart Davis's Lady Mustangs coming into this one 11-4 overall with a 6-2 record in the section. Starting lineup for the Lady Mustangs will look like this. Number 1, a 5'5" senior guard, Maya Harris. Number 2, a 5'11" junior center and forward, Ayera Jenkins. Number 5, a 5'9" sophomore guard, Taylor Swartfager. Number 11, a 5'10" senior forward, Ariana Sumter. And number 15, a 5'8" junior forward, Taylor Irwin. That's Harris, Jenkins, Swartfager, Sumter, and Irwin, your starters for the Lady Mustangs. For Elizabeth Forward and the Lady Warriors, 10-3, 7-0 in the section. Head coach Noah Yarton. Starting lineup is going to look like this for the Lady Warriors tonight. Number 1, a 5'6" junior forward, Kaylin Settles. Number 2, a 5'9" senior guard, Chloe Zombeck. Number 3, a 5'6" junior guard, Mia Sesterik. Number 14, a 5'9" senior forward, Michelle Jellison. And number 35, a 5'9" sophomore forward, McKenna Bittner. That's Settles, Zombeck, Sesterik, Jellison, and Bittner. And please keep in mind that Michelle Jellison, the leading scorer for this team, is good for nearly 20 points per game. We're going to pause briefly here as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem. Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network, and thank you again for joining us tonight for what we are expecting to be a very good basketball game between the Elizabeth Forward Lady Warriors and the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs. Tonight, the Lady Warriors will be in their white uniform with an almost pink trim and black number. The Lady Mustangs will be in their away red uniform with some blue and white trim and a blue number. The Lady Mustangs will be working right to left. Once this contest gets underway, the Lady Warriors will be working left to right. Joshua Scully here with you tonight alongside Bill Dice. Bill, what would a win tonight mean for this Lady Mustangs team?
I mean, I think a win tonight would just give them a lot of confidence, Josh. You know, to finally be able to beat this Lady Warrior team they have not been able to beat the last couple years. I think that would give them a lot of confidence going to the playoffs. I think a couple keys to the game, Josh. I think we need to get the Taylors going tonight, and I'm not talking about Swift. We need Schwartzfeger and Irwin to come out and have a good game for the Lady Mustangs, and they also need to stay out of foul trouble. If they can do those two things, I think I like their chances tonight.
There is definitely a size advantage on the side of the Lady Mustangs. They have both Sumter and Jenkins ready to go for this one. Both of them stand at least 5'10". Jenkins listed at 5'11". For the Lady Warriors, just keep a few names in mind. We're going to keep an eye on Jellison tonight, Settles, and Zombeck, all of whom average at least 10 points a game, and Jellison is very close to that 20-point mark per game. So, generally speaking, any given contest, the Lady Warriors expect about 40 points between those three players. We'll see what the Lady Mustangs are able to do in order to limit them. Again, your starting lineups just very quickly for the Lady Mustangs: Harris, Jenkins, Schwartzfeger, Sumter, Irwin. For the Lady Warriors, Settles, Zombeck, Sesteric, Jellison, and Bittner.
And Josh, if you can remember back to that last contest, Settles, she was everywhere in that game, so they got to kind of keep her in check a little bit as well, I think.
Yes, I remember you and I actually pointing that out quite a few times during that broadcast. She was truly everywhere. This jump is going to go to the score table and bounce across the score table out of bounds, and it looks like possession will be awarded to Elizabeth Ford. Elizabeth Ford, again, working left to right. The Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs will be working right to left. The ball going to be moved in here to Zombeck. Zombeck to run point, drifts away from us to the left, has Settles to her left on the wing, is going to move it to Settles. Settles back to Zombeck up top, cutting across from the near side is Sesteric. Ball going to move away from us again to Bittner. One more in the corner to Jellison, and Jellison going to move it to Zombeck. Big pass to Settles. Settles for three, no good. And the rebound here is going to be pulled down by number 3, Sesteric. She's going to move it to Zombeck. Here's a partially blocked shot that goes to Settles. Settles is fouled inside, does not get the bucket. But right out of the gate here, we do have a foul call against Laurel Highlands. We're going to wait to see the nature of this call. And that's going to be against number 5, Taylor Schwartzfeger, the 5'9" sophomore guard for Laurel Highlands. Settles to shoot two. First one's on its way, and it's going to roll down across the front of the rim.
2 offensive rebounds there on that possession, Josh, on long rebounds.
And you definitely do not want to see the Lady Warriors have too many second or third opportunities. The baseline official is going to check a spot on the floor.
Looks like the volleyball hole came open.
And we are looking now for trainer's tape here in the gym.
Yeah, how about some duct tape?
Bill, as you and I talked about here on our way out, Elizabeth Ford High School experiencing quite a renovation right now. You can really see signs of it everywhere as you come through the school, and everyone we spoke to here was very excited for the finished product, but the impression we got was that this is going to be a multi-step project and maybe one that will unfold over the course of even years before everything is completed.
Yeah, Josh, you had us come in a new entrance tonight. We came through the back door. I didn't know where I was at when we got here.
Chloe Zombeck gets a big round of applause from the home crowd as she tapes down.
Going for both sides.
Yeah, the volleyball caps, they don't want those to potentially cause injury, so they're going to be taped down. Chloe Zombeck, the 5'9" senior guard, going to toss the tape roll to head coach Noah Yarden. And now we're ready for shot number 2 from Kaylin Settles. Settles, something of a spark plug for this Lady Warriors team. She covers a lot of ground very quickly. Second shot from Settles on the way. Here it is, and this one is also good. Settles is going to get both from the foul line. Laurel Highlands going to face some pressure here. Ball goes to Sumter. Little handoff back to Harris. The double team trying to close Harris out. That pass is going to catch the backboard, and it's going to be a turnover. Lady Warriors basketball. Pass coming inside. Easy look here for Zombeck, and Zombeck lays it down for 2. It's 4-0. The Lady Mustangs here looking to fight against this pressure. Ball goes to Sumter. Sumter directing traffic. Going to move it to Harris. Harris Watching the Lady Warriors retreat, has a little bit of breathing room here now. She's going to work against Settles across the timeline. Sumter going to move high post. Harris wants a screen. Harris going to move away from that screen and go to Irwin in the corner. Irwin for three, no good. Rebound, tracked down by Harris. Harris fighting inside short corner, and she will travel there. It's going to be a turnover, and Lady Warriors basketball with 6:50 to play here in the first quarter. It's a 4-0 game, and right now we're going to see, Bill, some pressure from Laurel Highlands too.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of pressure in this game defensively, either in the full court or the half court.
Timeline gained here by the Lady Warriors. Zombeck with the basketball from Sesteric, who was able to get the timeline right across the E and F here at center court. Zombeck looking for a target, has Bittner. Now we'll work it inside. This is going to be Jellison who has the ball taken away. Swartfager comes up with it. And here's an opportunity for the Lady Mustangs coming back the other way. Harris going to pick up the timeline, float a pass to Sumter. Sumter had Zombeck in her back pocket, no call there. Now Sumter's going to get a screen. Sumter on the attack, drive short corner, floats one up, and Bill, I think they're going to get Michelle Jellison here.
And they're going to say she's in the act of shooting too. I'm not sure. I was watching through the cameras. I had a little bit of a bad view there, but nonetheless, she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
And in fact, they will get Mia Sesteric and not Jellison. Sumter to shoot 2. First one on its way and just about perfect. Keep in mind, the last time these two teams met, the Lady Mustangs were without Ariana Sumter, the 5'10 senior forward who does an excellent job for this team and has done so all season. She gets both, and it's a 4-2 ball game here with 6:08 to play. Zombeck to Sesteric. Sesteric going to cut to the middle here and get the timeline back to Zombeck on the wing. Now to Settles in the corner. Big arcing pass back to Sesteric, nearly stolen by Harris. Sesteric on the drive, and the shot's going to go, and it's 6-2 now in favor of Elizabeth Ford. Harris working here against Settles. Settles trying to drive her left. Harris going to move left in front of the Elizabeth Ford bench. Harris on the drive, up off the glass, no good. Rebound. Tip between several players. It's Jenkins who comes up with it. Big pass across to Swartfager, opposite wing. Swartfager off the screen. Screen and roll from Sumter. Scoop shot, and it's good.
Sumter making her presence known early. Josh, 4 quick ones for her.
And that's what the Lady Mustangs certainly will like to see throughout this game. And this is going to be a pickoff, Bill.
Oh
my, Bill.
Wow.
I do believe you've got to let that interception stand, Bill. It was not.
They never had possession of it.
That's right.
Harris stepped right in front of it for the steal. That should have been a layup the other way, and they blew the whistle.
And Harris did get the layup to go down. Had there not been a whistle, this would be a tie ball game. Keep that one in mind.
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
If this ends up being a 1 or 2 point ball game, I suppose otherwise you classify that an incidental whistle. It was going to be over and back, certainly, if Harris had not so smoothly stolen the ball. Here's Jenkins, short corner, far block, makes a move, and this one is going to be against Jellison. And we'll wait for the baseline official to relay that call and confirm. Indeed, it is Jellison. Jenkins going to shoot 2 here. This is the Lady Mustangs' second trip to the foul line tonight. Ayera Jenkins, what a great athlete she is. Shots on the way. This one is perfect. And the 5'11 junior forward has made this a 1-point game. 5:07 to play here in the first quarter. Many people still filing in. Second shot on the way from Jenkins. This one's going to roll across the front of the rim and go down, and it's a tie ball game. Pass comes into Zombeck. Zombeck trying to beat the trap. Is going to move to her left. Bounces a pass to Settles in the middle. Here's a wide open Bittner on the other end. And that time Elizabeth Ford just able to escape the pressure. Good look up there to get the ball to Bittner. Coming back the other way now. Harris going to float a pass over to Sumter. Sumter, a big one this way, nearly jumped by Sesteric. Sesteric could not save it as she nearly crashes into the score table here at Elizabeth Ford High School. Swartfager going to step out now and send this basketball in. The Lady Mustangs will stack it up with Jenkins out front, Harris, Sumter, and Irwin behind her. Here's Swartfager. Fakes a pass to Sumter, goes backcourt to Jenkins, who hands it off to Harris. Harris across the timeline where Settles awaits. Moves the ball away from us to the wing. Irwin trying to go back to Harris, has the ball picked off by Bittner. Now coming back the other way off the pass to Jellison. Jellison's going to draw the foul and get the bucket. And the foul is going to be called against number 5, Taylor Swartfeger. That is 2 against Swartfeger, and we're going to see Richardson cue in for her here and give her a break. Jellison to the foul line to shoot 1. The 5'9" senior listed officially on the Elizabeth Ford roster as a wing. Here's the shot on the way, no good, off the base of the rim. Great rebound by Sumter, who didn't want to travel, so she had to get rid of the ball before she hit the deck, and she gets it to Harris. Harris across the timeline, waiting for the play to develop. Settles a little contact, great screen there by Jenkins. Harris going to pull up the 3 ball, off the glass, no good. Rebound Richardson. Richardson pulls this one out. Going to work away from us to the corner where Sesteric nearly gets a hand on it, but this one, I believe, is going to stay with Laurel Highlands. The baseline official there, Bill, I think, was preparing to signal Lady Warriors basketball. Thankfully, he's overruled by the sideline official. Pass goes into Jenkins. Jellison, step for step with Jenkins here. Jenkins going to make a move on the far wing. Now, pass across the top of the key to Richardson. Richardson, nice move, but then she's cut off by Jellison. Back to Jenkins. This should be an easy one, and it is. Ayera Jenkins now has 4 points. Great start here for her, and for Sumter for that matter. All of the Lady Mustangs scoring courtesy of their 2 forwards. Here's a steal by Harris. Harris needs help. Gets it to Richardson. Richardson moves the ball to Sumter. Sumter on the wing cut. Makes some contact. No call. Now we will have a call inside as Jenkins goes back up. And
yeah, Josh, on that one, the EF faithful wanted a charge on Jenkins, but I think Settles got away with the foul. I think that's what we talked about last game. These 2 teams played, Josh. It looked like she got away with the foul at the volleyball back line, and then somebody else picked up the foul. I didn't catch the number, but
I believe they did call this most recent foul on Settles.
Also, they end up getting her. Okay.
First shot from Jenkins is good. It's a 1-point game once again.
That must have been the second foul.
Yes, I do believe she probably fouled twice during that possession.
Right, her second foul on that possession.
Shot from Jenkins on the way. This one off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by Settles. Settles to Sesteric. Sesteric gets the timeline, now going to take the center lane, passes through to Jellison. Jellison for 3, no good. It's going to be a rebound for Richardson. Yeah, Richardson going to work away from us on the baseline, hands it off to Harris, and the Lady Warriors will retreat here. Back across the center line. Harris going to move it to our wing to Sumter. Sumter watches 2 cuts. Now going to take the drive herself through the paint. Collides with Jellison. No call. And Bill Jellison really tried to sell out to get that charge, but I don't think she was anywhere near having her feet set that time.
No, I mean, there's a lot of contact on that one, Josh, for no call either way. I mean, I'd rather it be played loose like this, but
Settles rebound going back up, won't go. Sumter rebound, moves it to Harris. Harris weaving through traffic. Takes the middle lane. Now she's going to slow it up and move it to Sumter on the wing. Sumter on the drive. 2 hands there, Bill. No call.
Wow.
Coming back the other way. We did just see check in Brianna Dawson for the Lady Warriors. She basically pushed Sumter there. No call. Shot from Settles. No good. Rebound. Jenkins. Jenkins going to lead the 3-on-2. Maybe even a 4-on-2. Floats a pass to Irwin, but it's picked off by Zombek. Zombek coming back the other way. Collides with Sumter, passes over to Settles. One more, Jellison in the corner for 3. It rattles down. And Jellison has 5. 13-11, 2:12 to play here in quarter number 1. Ball goes to Sumter, now back to Harris. This one, of course, we anticipated for days, even weeks. Looking forward to this game. It has been as promised. And here's a kicked ball off a near still from Zombek. Zombek got a hand on the pass, then unfortunately for the Lady Warriors, they had that one bounce off of her foot and go out of bounds. And here's a 30-second timeout taken by the Lady Mustangs with 1:58 to play here in quarter 1. It will be Laurel Highlands basketball. But, Bill, so far, this game has been high-paced, a lot of back and forth, and as you anticipated, I think correctly so far, a lot of pressure both ways.
Yeah, Josh, I'm glad that Coach Stu Davis called that timeout just to give you a breather there, man. That was back and forth there. Almost reminiscence of a boys' game, you know, back and forth, up and down. You know, I guess that's what you get when you have 2 good girls teams playing each other, you know, who like to play fast. So, you know, you get that back and forth action. So it's been a good first quarter so far.
And, Bill, you mentioned earlier, too, during the broadcast that at this point in the season, we're not too terribly far removed from the playoffs. This game sort of has that buzz. It does have some playoff implications for sure, but there's a good crowd here, and the spectators definitely so far, after 6 minutes of basketball, very into this game.
And this game means a lot for both teams. You know, EF wants to stay undefeated in the section. The Lady Mustangs need it just for a little bit of confidence heading into the playoffs, that they can beat a big-time team.
And we've got some more tape on the floor here to secure.
And they got some clear tape out there now. It looks like packaging tape, though. I don't know how strong that's going to be, but we'll see. I guess if it's strong enough for UPS, it's strong enough for us.
Here's Harris off the break, going to go to Sumter. Right under the basket, now back to Harris, and the Lady Warriors will begin to retreat here as Harris advances. Harris with Sumter playing up high, throws a pass over to Richardson. Nice cut here by Richardson, who loses the ball in the paint, but it's picked up by Sumter. It catches Richardson's head on the way out. And Bill, I'm not sure how that's not a foul two different ways, because I think Sumter was hacked down not once but twice.
I was thinking that as well. You know, then unfortunately it just happened to hit off of Richardson as the ball was going out of bounds, but you know, it did look like a foul, that's for sure.
Big pass to Jellison.
And,
now Jellison is going to draw some contact and miss the shot.
And I don't know if there was much contact on that one there, Josh.
No, not nearly as much as on the previous play. Jellison will shoot two. This is her second visit to the foul line tonight. She's 0 for 1 so far. This one's on its way and good. Jellison was 6 so far in this game. She's good for about 18 points all told per contest so far this season as the 5'9" senior. On the way from Jellison. This one going to bounce out. Rebound nearly goes to Settles. Now it's going to touch virtually everyone, and Jenkins comes out with it. Jenkins looking for help. Big pass to the middle of the floor in Sumter. Then back to Harris. Harris will get across the timeline with a few seconds to spare. To Richardson for three. No good off the sideline, and this rebound is going to be pulled down initially by Irwin, then taken away by Dawson. Dawson to Zombek to Sesteric, now far sideline. Settles going to try a similar shot. No good. Rebound Sumter. Sumter to Harris. 1:05 to play here in quarter number one. 14-11. Harris across the timeline. Looking for some help. Has Jenkins high. Going to go to Richardson away from us to her right. Now here's Richardson passing through the zone to Irwin. Irwin in the corner. Little bounce pass here in the paint to Jenkins. Jenkins goes up and gets the contact. Yes, sir.
The hoop in the harm.
Big take there by Ayera Jenkins. And that's going to make the game 14-13. Jenkins is going to take the foul shot here to tie with 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Checking in will be number 5, Kaylin Stazak, the 5'8" freshman. And here's Jenkins to shoot one. This will tie the game if it goes. Shot is on the way, and this one is going to go right through just about perfectly. Jenkins has got 4 made foul shots here in the first quarter. She's 4 of 5 from the charity stripe, and the Lady Mustangs will take those all night. Here's Zombek on the far wing, going to go corner to Jellison. Jellison thinking about making her move, nearly loses the ball, floats up a shot, no good. Rebound Harris. Plenty of time on the clock, but Harris likes the fast game. Center lane to the near elbow. Now a big pass to the sideline to Sumter, who wants the three, and Sumter off the base of the rim, no good. And this ball is going to go between Richardson and Irwin and be awarded to the Lady Warriors as Irwin fell out of bounds while touching the basketball. 20 seconds to play in a 14-14 game. Foul situation right now slightly favoring the Lady Mustangs, but aside from Swartfeger, no one in any significant type of foul trouble here. Jellison going to draw another one, though, on her drive, and we'll see where this call goes. This foul is going to be called on number 11. Sumter will pick up her first. Now that's 4 fouls each way as far as these two teams are concerned. Jellison, first shot of 2. This one bounces out. Whereas Jenkins has been really strong from the foul line tonight for the Lady Mustangs. Jellison just 1 of 4 so far. Jellison. Second shot on its way. This one is good. And that's going to give the Lady Warriors a 1-point lead with 7 seconds. Here's Harris on the drive. 2 seconds. Floats up a 3. This one's going to bounce out, and it's going to be a 1-point game after a quarter of play. And Bill, still on my mind after that quarter is that whistle that takes away the steal and the layup from Harris. If you don't get that whistle, this is a 1-point game the other way.
Yeah, entertaining first half, but that inadvertent whistle was a big play in the first half, or first quarter. It should be, if you look at 16-15, but nonetheless, it's Lady Mustangs are down 1, and they got to just keep playing.
We want to thank our sponsors tonight, Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. If you're watching this game on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, we'd like to let you know that South Union Township Sports Network games and programs are now available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television to find the archive broadcasts or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for live games. Facebook.com/South Union TV. And we're ready for quarter number 2. If it's anything like quarter number 1, we have a lot to look forward to over the rest of this game. It's a 15-14 Lady Warriors advantage. The Lady Mustangs have seen all of their scoring come tonight from 2 players, Ariana Sumter and Ayera Jenkins. Lady Mustangs basketball. Harris to the wing and Sumter. Here comes Jenkins on the cut. Far elbow. Going to float up a jumper. Off the glass. No good. Rebound Settles. Settles going to move this one to Zombeck, and Zombeck will run point for us here. Across the timeline. Swartfager back in the game. Swartfager is actually waiting for Zombeck on the far wing. Ball going to move to Jellison. Here's a baseline cut attempted by Stazak, but this one's easily picked off by Sumter, who's looking inside now to Jenkins. Jenkins on the cut from Irwin. The pass is going to get away, but Irwin is touching the basketball and the baseline at the same time, so this is going to be a turnover and Lady Warriors basketball.
Nice looking pass there, Josh. Irwin just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, great cut. Irwin certainly got into the right spot. There's no question about that. Stazak to Settles. Now this one is going to be picked off by Irwin, and she lays it down, and Irwin's got 2, and the Lady Mustangs have a 16-15 advantage with 7:08 to play. Jellison, the big pass to Stazak. Stazak working center lane. No call there. The Lady Mustangs may have got away with one. Coming back the other way is Harris. Harris looking for help to Irwin. Irwin wants a 3, and this one's going to skip off the side of the rim. No good. Rebound, Jellison. Coming back the other way. Back and forth we go. A fast game. Just 1 timeout taken so far. Jellison going to move this one away from us to Zombeck. Inside look to Stazak, who's blocked by Sumter. Loose basketball goes to Irwin. Irwin gets it back to Harris. Harris will take her time. Everyone, I'm sure, looking to catch a breath here as Harris casually brings it across the center court line. To Sumter, now to Jenkins. Jenkins going to direct traffic, wants Harris to come back up. And Jenkins is going to move off to the wing while Harris follows her in that direction, passes to Swartfager. Swartfager nearly cut off by Settles, able to protect the basketball, goes high post to Sumter, passes through the zone to Irwin. Irwin will bounce one to Swartfager. Nice fake here by Swartfager, who passes into the corner to Sumter. This is a nice long possession for the Lady Mustangs. Here's Swartfager for 3, no good. Rebound Zombeck. Zombeck pushing this one ahead to Jellison, who nearly loses it in front of the home section here at Elizabeth Ford High School. Now she's on the floor, and Irwin is contorting herself over top of Jellison, and hopefully everyone's okay. We've got a couple of players down here and some subs checking in each way. Bittner coming in along with Sesterik for the Lady Warriors. Richardson coming out, and I really hope Taylor Irwin's okay. She went down over top of Jellison very awkwardly and is on the floor right now holding her left leg and is being seen by both head coach Stuart Davis as well as some other personnel. We've got an official timeout here with 5:52 to play in period number 2. This is a 16-15 ball game as it stands. Let's talk about during this break how we got to this point. In the first quarter, Laurel Highlands was good for 14 points. 6 of those came from Ariana Sumter. The other points all scored by Ayera Jenkins. Ayera Jenkins had 8 in that first quarter. Sumter had 6. Jenkins doing a lot of her damage from the foul line. On the other side, the Lady Warriors, Irwin gets a round of applause as she's back on her feet and appears to be okay. The Lady Warriors had 15, most of those points coming from Jellison, who was good for a total in that first quarter of 7 points, 2 of those coming from the foul line. The rest of the scoring for the Lady Warriors divided between 4 different players, each of them having 2. Here's a three-point look from Bittner. This one no good. It's an easy rebound for Jenkins. And Jenkins going to look to outlet, then ultimately hands it off to Harris. We do have Righteous Richardson in the game to replace Irwin for the time being. 5:39 to play here in quarter number 2. Harris, inside look to Jenkins. Jenkins going to take it, floats up a shot, no good. And the rebound will go to the Lady Warriors. Pushing it the other way is Sesterik. Sesterik wants to go coast to coast, and she's going to ring up a foul against Sumter. Sumter had gone for the block, and unfortunately, Sesterik turned directly into her arm, and the contact there was enough for the baseline officials to call that. And Bill, that's going to be 2 fouls on Sumter. Swartfager also currently playing with 2.
Yeah, Schwartzfeger and Sumter both with 2 fouls. You know, that was a tough one. And, you know, it looked like she had good position, but the possession before that settles looked like she pulled down, who was it, Schwartzfeger, on the loose ball for her rebound. No call there, so, you know, what are you going to do?
This game has generated a lot of contact both ways, and I think as Sesterik gets the first one to go and ties this game at 16, I think it's fair to say both teams have probably got away with 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be out there, so I'm not going to say they're not doing a good job, but, you know, it's a rough game, fast game, so we just got to adjust, right?
That's right. We'll see which team is able to make the quickest adjustments. And here's Sumter going down the lane, cannot get that floater to go off the glass. It's a 1-point game now in favor of Elizabeth Ford. Big pass ahead to Sesterik. Now corner look to Settles. Back to the wing to Jellison. Here's Sumter coming up with an interception, and she gets it to Harris. They wanted Sesterik on the far block, and the Lady Mustangs were having none of that.
And Josh, Sumter had 2 dangerous plays there in a row on the offense and defensive end where what could have been a 3rd foul. We definitely don't want to see that happen.
No, certainly not. Everyone who has 2 for this Lady Mustangs team needs to be very careful. Floater from Swartfager over Jellison, no good. 4:46 to play here in the first half. It's Zombek squaring up for 3. Zombek for 3, no good. Rebound going to be knocked away from Richardson by Bittner, and Bittner comes down with it. Bittner going to hold it here, moves it our way to Zombek. Zombek wants some movement. She wants that baseline cut, which did not come. So she is going to rotate it first to Sesterik, then Bittner tries the 3-ball, no good. Rebound for Harris. 4:23 to play here in quarter number 2. Harris across the timeline to Richardson. Richardson floats one up to Jenkins. Jenkins with some body here, and we're going to see a whistle, and I believe, Bill, that was a travel call.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure what I think about that.
Looked like a good pivot from up here, but who knows? My eyes aren't what they used to be.
Sumter going to get a break here in favor of Taylor Irwin, who appears to be okay. We're happy to see that. Jellison going to move to help here with the press as Sesterik floats one back to Zombek. The Lady Mustangs, very tough, not surrendering much. And here's an interception again. Jenkins comes up with it, courtesy of an Irwin tip. Ball goes to Swartfager, now to Harris. And it's another turnover by the Lady Warriors. The Lady Mustangs have done a nice job on that regard. Here's Richardson going to travel here as she fakes the shot, then prepares to drive to the bucket. Hopefully Richardson okay. She hit the baseline pretty hard at the end of that play. She appears to be all right, back on her feet. Righteous Richardson, who is in this game off the bench, the 5'4" senior guard, plays some valuable minutes for this Lady Mustangs team and head coach Stuart Davis. And here's a trip, seemingly a trip. The ball able to be rolled to Jellison from Sesterik. Inside look to Bittner, and Bittner's going to get an easy 2.
Josh, I can't believe there wasn't a foul called there. Then I can't believe there wasn't a travel called. So, I guess it evens out.
Yes, I agree. That probably could have easily been called a foul. Here's Richardson going to pull down the 3-point look, but then throws the ball to Settles, and Settles has the pick ahead to Zombek, and Zombek's going to draw the foul here against Harris. Zombek's shot no good, thankfully, for Laurel Highlands. That's going to be the first one called against Harris. Zombek going to go to the line here. Zombek has 2 points, and she's going to shoot 2.
Just 2 foul calls this second quarter so far, Josh. That's surprising.
Unfortunately, both of them called against Laurel Highlands. Zombek, first one on the way. This one is good. Sumter going to check back in. We'll also see the Lady Warriors confirm exactly who they wanted along the paint. Sesterik jogs up and talks to Zombek about that, but they keep Bittner and Settles in the middle slot. Second shot, no good. Rebound going to go to Swartfager, and it's a 4-point game as it stands right now. The Lady Mustangs looking for a bucket. Here's a collision, and Bill, this time she didn't get away with it, but I thought for 1 second maybe they would let that go.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a late whistle, so I was kind of hoping they were going to call it, but.
Second foul called against Kaylin Settles. 20-16, 3:11 to play here in quarter number 2. Settles colliding with Harris. Harris appears to be okay. Ball going to go to Jenkins from Swartfager. Jenkins gets it back to Swartfager, and here's an opportunity for Swartfager to play quarterback across the timeline. She draws 2 defenders, gets the ball to Harris. It's a wide open look for Harris for 3. No good off the base of the rim. Rebound goes between Irwin and Bittner. It's tipped out by Bittner. It'll be Lady Mustangs basketball off the baseline.
Yeah, Josh, it kind of looked like Harris had lane was wide open, but she chose to take that 3. Maybe she was watching the NBA last night.
I think, too, she probably, if she had wanted, could have snuck a quick pass into Sumter, who...
Yeah, I thought she was on taking it for a layup.
She had a pretty...
But, I mean, she can...
Easy access there.
No doubt make that shot, though.
Oh, yes. When Harris starts to find her groove out beyond the arc, that's a game-changing moment. Jenkins going to lose the ball here following a collision to Jellison. 2:45 to play here in quarter 2. Lady Warriors want a deep 3 from Jellison. This one off the front of the rim, no good. It's a strong rebound here by Irwin, who blocks out anyone else from potentially getting their hands on that one. Here's Harris across the timeline, goes to Irwin on the wing. Irwin skips a pass across the court, a couple of bounces there, but Swartfager gets it. Sesteric step for step with Swartfager. Now inside look to Jenkins, and Jenkins going to back her way in, go up for 2, and Era Jenkins with the good bucket. She has 10, and this is a 2-point game, 20-18 in favor of Elizabeth Ford. Sesteric back to Zombek. The Lady Warriors fighting against this press, and it's a 3-on-1. It's an Irwin pick. Irwin to Swartfager, and Swartfager lays it down for 2, and that's going to cue up a 30-second timeout taken by Elizabeth Ford. It is 20-20 with 2:01 to play here in quarter number 2. My goodness, Bill. What a great opportunity there for the Lady Mustangs. Great pick by Irwin and a good last-minute look there at Swartfager, who was wide open on the block.
Yeah, Taylor Irwin really making her presence known since she's come back into the game. And the Lady Mustangs, they need that bucket there right before that. You know, they were stuck on 16 for quite a while, so it's good to see them get 2 quick ones and tie it up 20-20.
The Elizabeth Ford High School, of course, we're just outside of Elizabeth, PA. This is the most southerly school district in Allegheny County. Elizabeth, PA, home to just about 1,400 people. And, of course, this district includes Elizabeth Township and Forward Township. Forward was actually part of Elizabeth Township until 1869. Elizabeth Township home to just about 13,000 people. Forward Township just over 3,000. So between the borough of Elizabeth and those 2 townships, you have Elizabeth Forward School District. 20-20, 1:55 to play. Big pass here and going to be stolen. Trying to save that one was Stazak, but she saves it to Harris. Harris to Sumter. Now back to Harris. Harris thought about a shot. Goes to Irwin in the corner for 3, and that one's no good. Rebound Bittner. Bittner looking for help. Gets this one to Zombek. Zombek leading the charge the other way. Splits defenders, goes up for 2. And Bill, that's probably a good no-foul situation. You don't want to pick one up there with Zombek having that full head of steam. Harris now going to bring this one back for the Lady Mustangs. Big pass ahead to Swartfager, who has a lane. Swartfager goes up for 2 and misses it right off the rim. No good. The score stays 22-20. Zombek setting things up for the Lady Warriors. She's going to move away from us to the wing to Sesteric. Sesteric looking for that baseline cut from Jellison. The Warriors really like that cut. Jellison instead going to come up to the wing to get the basketball. Big pass across to Stazak on the drive. Loses the basketball, gets to the the far block, recovers the ball. And we're going to have, Bill, a 3-second violation, I believe, against the Lady Warriors.
Josh, Sumter was there on the coverage, and I think all the EF fans were yelling, shoot it. All the Lower Highlands fans were saying, keep your hands up, without picking up that foul.
Certainly we don't want to see Sumter pick up 3 here in the first half. Harris to Sumter. Big pass ahead across the timeline to Swartfager. Wide open, Jenkins inside. And Jenkins lays it in, gets Swartfager the assist. With 40 seconds, it's another big basket here for the Lady Mustangs. Love to see that. The Lady Mustangs offense really generating points off the turnover here in quarter number 2. It's a 22-22 ball game. 26 seconds in the first half. Sombeck on the drive, and I think, Bill, we probably got away with one, but we'll take it. Ball going to be blocked away by Sumter, and Jenkins comes up with it. She gets it to Harris, and the Lady Mustangs may well get the last shot here in quarter 2. Jenkins on the far wing to Harris. Top of the key, 7 seconds. Harris thinking about a drive, gets a screen from Jenkins, floats a pass to Swartfager. 2 seconds. Harris going to launch a prayer. It's no good. And that is going to be your first half, 22-22. But Bill, how about this? As far as a number that just jumps right off the page, after a 15-14 first quarter, not a great deal of scoring in quarter number 2. That quarter goes to the Lady Mustangs 8-7.
Yeah, they really turned it up defensively, I think, here, Josh. I don't think it's bad offense. I think it's just good defense. They're causing turnovers, causing bad shots.
We're going to get some score totals together for you. Thank you, as always, for checking out the South Union Township Sports Network. Joshua Scully here with you tonight alongside Bill Dice. We really appreciate the opportunity to bring these games to you, and we want to thank, of course, again, our sponsors and especially our township supervisors in South Union who help make this possible. So after 2 quarters of play, it's 22-22, and the Lady Mustangs good for 14 points in the first quarter, 8 points in the second quarter. They are led by the 5'11 junior forward, Ayera Jenkins, who has 12 points so far in this one. 6 points from Ariana Sumter, 2 points apiece from Taylor Irwin and Taylor Swartfager. And Bill, one thing we will say in regards to this score, and you mentioned it in the second quarter, once Harris gets going, that's a dynamic that we've not yet got to see. The Lady Mustangs have really got it done inside and at the foul line, but that 3-point game can become theirs very, very quickly. We've seen them get hot certainly before.
Yeah, Josh, just looking back on the first half, I don't think they've made a 3-pointer, have they?
They have not.
Yeah, I didn't think.
There's only one made 3 so far in this game, and that one was made by Michelle Jellison, who has 7 points in this one for the Lady Warriors, but she did all of her scoring in the first quarter. She was shut out in quarter number 2. 5 points from Chloe Zombeck, 4 points from Mia Sesterik, 4 points from McKenna Bittner. That's a total of 15 in the first, 7 in the second, and the Lady Warriors have 22. It's a 22-22 ball game. We'll step aside for just a moment here on the South Union Township Sports Network. We'll be back in about 5 minutes' time. The second half is 8 minutes and 22 seconds away. Stay tuned. This is going to be a great, great third and fourth quarter. No doubt about that.
Hey, Josh. You want to hit that power button?
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. Thank you for checking us out tonight. 22-22, the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs and the Elizabeth Forward Lady Warriors. The Lady Warriors looking to improve to 8-0 in the section. They are 10-3, 7-0 right now, 10-3 overall, 7-0 in the section. The Lady Mustangs looking to improve to 7-2 in the section with a win. They are 11-4 overall, 6-2 in the section right now as it stands. Ayara Jenkins good for 12 points. She actually leads all scorers to this point in the contest with 12. Ariana Sumter with 6 for the Lady Mustangs, 2 each for the Taylors. Taylor Swartfeger and Taylor Irwin. Leading scorer Michelle Jellison on the Lady Warriors side. She has 7 points. Bill, what are we anticipating out of this second half? What do you look to see maybe change in the third quarter? Because I think it's fair to say in a game like this, the third quarter probably pivotal.
Yeah, Josh, I look for both teams to pick up the scoring a little bit. The defense was good in the first half, but, the second half I look for the offense to come alive a little bit more and, really look for a good second half. It was an entertaining first half, maybe not as much scoring as I would like to see, but entertaining, a lot of lead changes, a lot of tie games. So, I think we're in store for a good second half, an exciting second half.
This is the second meeting between these two teams. Of course, the first one, a very, very good game at Laurel Highlands back on December the 16th, a 60-56 Lady Warriors win. We'll see if the Lady Mustangs, who will begin this one here in the third quarter with the basketball, we'll see if they can get some revenge here tonight at Elizabeth Ford. Ball goes with the Lady Mustangs. This is Harris. She's going to set up the play. Lady Mustang is going to work left to right. The Lady Warriors right to left in this half. This pass gets away from Sumter off of her toe and out of bounds. It'll be a turnover, and it's Elizabeth Ford basketball. Both teams, Bill, used just one 30-second timeout in the first half. Neither team has a player with more than 2 personal fouls.
Well, that's a good thing as far as the fouls go.
And this one is going to be off the mark from Jellison, way outside. Rebound nearly pulled down by Swartfeger, then smacked away by Sesteric. So it's Lady Mustangs basketball. Harris going to send this one in from the A and Warriors on the baseline. She's going to go to Sumter. Quick little tight pass there along the baseline. One more to Swartfeger. Now here's the pressure from the Lady Warriors. They go middle, and it's going to be 3-on-2. Big floating pass to Jenkins. Quick one to Taylor Irwin, but the ball is blocked away by Jellison and then saved to Sesteric. A great sequence there for the Lady Warriors, who looked like they were about to surrender. An easy look at the bucket, and they recovered quite nicely. 7:12 to play here in the third quarter. Sombeck going to slow everything down. Goes to Sesteric. One more to Bittner in the corner, and Bittner is going to travel. And here's another opportunity for the Lady Mustangs. Certainly, Bill, the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs really wanting to take advantage of every opportunity here in front of a big home crowd for the Lady Warriors.
Yeah, we've had, 4 possessions, 2 turnovers so far, so let's see what the next few bring.
Jenkins going to receive the pass in the short corner, then work her way out to the far elbow, up top to Swartfeger, now away to Harris. Harris sizing up the situation here against Settles. Number 1 versus number 1. Harris bounces a pass, top of the key to Swartfeger. Swartfeger, triple threat spot, now drives in, far block, going to pop out a pass to Jenkins for 2, no good. Rebound, Sombeck. Sombeck going to avoid Sumter, passes ahead to Settles. Settles on the take, runs over Harris, and that's an offensive foul. And that gets the Laurel Highlands Mustangs fans off their feet here at Elizabeth Ford High School.
Yeah, nice play there by Harris to take that charge. Settles just dipped the shoulder, went right into her, and that was an easy call for the officials.
Settles picks up her 3rd foul. That's the first one called here in the second half. Settles has 2 points tonight, those coming from the foul line. Quick pass to Sumter, now back to Harris. Harris floating one over top of a defender, back to Sumter. Sumter, who handles the ball really well, moves the ball away from us to the wing to Swartfeger. Swartfeger inside look to Jenkins. Ayara Jenkins blocked there by Jellison, but the ball will stay with the Lady Mustangs.
Josh, these Lady Warriors, they were talking about the volleyball team before the game started, and we've seen those volleyball plays the last few possessions. Couple blocks. We had a big swat.
Yeah, indeed. They get off the floor really well, considering the fact that the Lady Mustangs have a height advantage. And, Bill, there's a tackle on the baseline and no call, as it looked like Settles had quite literally tackled Sumter.
And there's another tackle. There's another tackle.
And, Bill, we're really going to have to hope the officials are a little more mindful of some of this contact. We don't want to see anyone get hurt.
I understand it's a loose ball, but you can't take people out at the knees. And Settles did drag somebody down the other baseline.
Yes,
there a few seconds
absolutely.
ago. I mean, I don't know how these referees can't see that.
Would have been a great open field tackle. Coming back the other way,
Sign up
Harris trying to float a pass up. It gets tipped down and then picked off by Bittner. Ball goes to Zombek. Zombek's going to travel, Bill.
Yeah.
Good call. Hey, we want to give a shout out to John Guth, the Herald Standard, the Uniontown Herald Standard's very own John Guth, who is reporting a score for us. It's Geibel 28 and Clareton 23. That's a big game, Bill. We talked about that one on the way down there.
Right, yeah, we were hoping we'd have coverage somewhere of it, and John Goose on it for us.
John Guth is on it. Thank you, John, for getting us that score. Geibel leads by 5 at halftime, and what is going to be potentially a pivotal game between those two teams. Here's a pass to Harris. Harris gets the timeline. Working against Sesteric. Now draws 2 defenders. Bounces it into Jenkins. Jenkins fires a pass, top of the key to Swartfager. It's taken away by Sesteric. One more ahead to Settles, who misses the layup. And Swartfager and Settles will collide. Basketball ends up with Sumter. Sumter leading a 3-on-2 charge with Jenkins and Irwin. Pulls up for the jumper. No good. Rebound will go to Zombek, who trips and falls, saves the basketball. And it's going to be a travel, Bill. Another travel call and a big one.
Oh, the EF faithful don't like that one, and I don't like that one. She fell down, was still dribbling, got back up as she was dribbling. I don't look like the Harlem Globetrotters out there, but we'll take it as Lady Mustang fans. But I don't like that call, though. Oh,
and here's a tip. Goes to Zombek, and here's the Lady Warriors to Jellison, and plenty of contact. They're going to get Sumter, Bill.
And what they say on that one, ball doesn't lie, but man, Jellison took a hard shot to the wall right there. You know, this court here, Josh, is very tight.
Yes,
no sidelines, no baseline really under the hoop. You know, so hopefully she's all right.
Jellison collided with the padding and then the floor.
And you know, Josh, like I tell my kids at school, behind that padding is solid block. So don't be running into those on purpose. And that's, you know, obviously she didn't run into it on purpose. She got knocked into it, but you know, hopefully she's all right.
Jellison being seen to by a few different individuals here. She's still on the floor. Hopefully she is okay. She's played a really good game so far, especially defensively of late for this Lady Warriors team. Jellison also good for 7 points so far in this contest, all of those coming in the very first quarter of play. Here in the third quarter, we actually, Bill, have not had a made basket yet after 3 minutes of play.
Yes, I was just looking at that. Not 1 point yet in this third quarter.
And Jellison is going to get back to her feet. And she still needs a moment.
Josh, I just noticed this. They have some skylights here kind of underneath of me. If you look up here in the ceiling, I just now noticed those for the first time ever in my life. I've been coming here for about 15 years, and it's the first time I've seen those up there.
Very neat feature, something we hope that they maintain in maybe their new gymnasium. We're under the impression that they are working on a new gymnasium.
Jellison's going to come out. They're going to have a sub in for her.
I believe this is number 5, Kaylin Stazak, the freshman who is actually going to enter the game and take the shots for Jellison.
And in the mix of all that, that was Sumter's third foul.
Yes, so we really want to see Sumter get through the next 5 minutes without picking up foul number 4. You can live with 3 fouls through 3 quarters of play, especially in a game like this one. First shot on the way. This one is good, and that's going to be the first point of this second half.
Josh, it looks like they're looking at Jellison's arm down here. I thought maybe she hit her head on the wall, but they're looking at her arm, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign.
Stazak able to get both with 5:07 to play in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game. Swartfager to Harris. Back to Swartfager. Swartfager now needs help. Picked up her dribble, goes to Harris, and now the Lady Mustangs need to get the timeline. They will not make it as Settles and Harris collide, but some good sportsmanship
defense
there.
By the Warriors.
Yes, very good. And Settles
forcing a 10-second violation.
Kind enough to pull Harris up off the floor. 24-22 your score. Ball will be moved into Zombek. 4:54 to play here in quarter number 3. Joshua Scully and Bill Dice with you tonight on the South Union Township Sports Network, live from Elizabeth Forward High School, just outside of Elizabeth, PA. This is the most southerly school district in Allegheny County. Not too terribly far away from home. Here's Bittner. on the wing, goes back out to Sesteric. One more pass through to Stazak. Stazak going to operate out of the corner. Couple of dribbles, but won't try Harris. And now Elizabeth Ford going to swing it around. First away from us, back to us. Now here's Sesteric on the drive, no good. It's a rebound for Harris. Harris going to take the charge down the far sideline. Floats a pass up to Jenkins. Jenkins popping one out top of the key to Sumter. Now our way to Swartfager. Swartfager comes back to Sumter on the wing. Now into the corner to Irwin. One more inside to Jenkins. Quick pass here, going to find Harris in the corner for three. Yes! And Harris is on the books. Big made three is going to put the Lady Mustangs back in front. Zombek at the timeline, avoiding a travel. Gets one ahead to Settles. Settles going to be tied up with Jenkins. Jenkins will have the ball shot over her. Good, no foul there. Settles going to pick up the bucket. She now has 4. It's a 1-point game in favor now of EF. Sumter looking for help. Gets this one to Swartfager. Swartfager going to lose the basketball to Sesteric, who floats up a layup and gets it. And now it's a 3-point game, 28-25. Harris to Sumter, back to Harris. The Lady Warriors going to retreat. Here's a great leading pass to Swartfager, who pulls up the jumper. This one, no good. Rebound, Irwin, and Irwin gets tied up, and this is going to be a jump ball.
Jellison's coming back in, Josh. You know, I was watching her catch a few passes down her sideline. She seems in quite a bit of pain catching the ball, but the Lady Warriors look like a much different offense without her on the court, so they desperately need her out there.
And we're going to have a timeout, I think, taken by Elizabeth Ford, Bill.
No, the other way.
32nd, in fact, taken by the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs. We want to thank our sponsors again tonight. And as Bill pointed out, we're grateful to see Jellison back on the floor after she took a hard hit and made some contact with both the padding against the baseline over here and the floor itself. If you're watching this game on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, we'd like to let you know that South Union Township Sports Network games and programs are now available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television to find the archive broadcasts, or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for live games. Facebook.com/South Union TV. Thank you, Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sproul's Insurance Group, and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and our township supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Jellison for 3, no good. And this one is going to be tipped out off the hands of Settles. And the Lady Mustangs now, who have just the one made basket this quarter, are looking for some offense. We've got 3-on-3. Jenkins collides with Jellison and then tries to get this one to Harris. And here's a quick over and back call, Bill, that we saw in the first half. Very quick.
Hey, at least they're quick with the whistle, I guess, on this.
I think Harris may have truly made it there. It was very, very close. Of course, we had a somewhat dubious over and back call in the first quarter that took a made layup away from the Lady Mustangs. Ball moved in here to Zombek. Zombek casually bringing the ball across. Will go to our wing and Jellison. Jellison will bring it to the top of the key and back to Zombek. One more to Jellison our way. Jellison going to try her luck, splits defenders, looks inside to Settles. Settles up for 2, and she's going to split defenders and get it. And it's a 5-point game. In a game that has seen quite a few lead changes, but very few large leads. 5 points seems like a big deal here. Irwin driving out of the corner. She's going to have that pass picked off by Zombek, who plays the floor. Zombek will collide. And this one, though, is going to be against the Lady Warriors.
Yeah, Harris took another one.
That'll be the first one on Zombek. Zombek with the charge. Harris able to get her feet set. Jenkins going to check back in for Irwin. Righteous Richardson also in the game for the Lady Mustangs. What we want to see right now for Laurel Highlands is some offense here in this quarter, especially now that Settles, who is a very, very good defender for this Lady Warriors team, has just checked out. The ball is moved to Sumter and then handed back off to Harris. Harris, little move here, working against Sesteric. Will take it to the far wing, now hands it off to Swartfager. Swartfager on the drive, going to lose the basketball, but she loses it to Richardson, as I believe Jellison had a hand in there to knock it away on her cut. Ball comes back to Swartfager on the wing. Thought about Sumter inside, thinks better of it. Will dribble off the wing, top of the key. Now she has Jenkins posting up at high post. Ball moves away from us to Richardson. And Richardson is going to nearly lose the ball to Dawson, but saves it. Then gets it to Jenkins inside. Jenkins draws some contact, floats up a little jumper from short corner, no good. Coming back the other way, 1:51 to play. Jellison to Sesteric. Now moving it this way. Stazak and Zombek, 1:45 left in quarter number 3. Jellison on the give and go to Stazak. No good on the shot. Rebound ripped down by Jenkins, and Jenkins gets it to Harris. Harris now one-on-one here against Sesteric. Plenty of contact from Sesteric. No call. Harris gets the timeline and may have pushed off there. Certainly EF head coach Noah Yarton thinks that. Here's a pickoff by Jellison on the pass inside to Sumter. Jellison going to pull up from 3, and it's no good off the side of the rim. Rebound Jenkins, and Bill, when will we get the foul call there? What a call. Dawson has an arm on Jenkins and tries to rip the ball away. The ball comes loose, and it's called out on Jenkins.
That's a tough call there for the Lady Mustangs. Looked to be a foul. No foul call. Then it went out. It was out of us. So just a tough sequence there.
Zombek to send this one in from the W, and Warriors on the baseline. Floating a pass up to Dawson. Quick look now, far elbow to Stazak. Blocked. Sumter and Jenkins, I think, both had a hand in. The ball ends up with Jenkins. 30-25, the Lady Warriors lead. The Lady Mustangs across the timeline. Harris going to work toward us on our sideline. Little crossover move here, keeping the ball away from Sesteric. She moves it to Irwin. Irwin on the drive, gets a couple defenders off their feet, and she floats one up over top of everybody for 2. And she's got 4 points tonight. It's a 3-point ball game. Now the Lady Mustangs need a stop, Bill.
Yeah, Harris, those fans are going crazy over the offensive foul, saying she's pushing off, so she got to be careful. The refs are going to call one just because these fans are going crazy about it.
Yes, there are some very vocal fans here at Schwartzfager. Picks a pocket. She's got the basketball to Harris. Harris wants the deep 3, and it's good.
Call a travel.
And they're going to call a travel prior to the shot.
Wow.
My goodness. That ties the game. 28 seconds to play in quarter number 3. It's 30-27. Harris has had 5 points wiped off the books tonight due to some very unfortunate or untimely whistles, however you would like to look at that.
See if EF runs the clock down to 0 here.
It looks like that may be their intention. Zombek trying to work against Sumter. Sumter cannot foul. She does get the block. Ball is going to stay with Elizabeth Ford. And Bill,
yeah, Coach, I'd get Sumter out there. Get her out of here for the last 5 seconds. You can't get her picking up a 4th foul.
Right.
Coach Stu's going to leave her in. Oh, no, wait.
Here comes Richardson for somebody.
I would say for Sumter, hopefully.
Yes.
Yes.
Good call.
Yeah, I mean, that was a questionable call there. It could have gone either way. And the way this thing's been going officiating-wise, you don't pick up a cheap 4th one with 5 seconds left.
No, definitely not. And that would have been her 4th foul. Pass inside on the cut. Stazak for 2, no good. Strong rebound here by Jenkins. Jenkins going to just dribble it out and keep the ball away from Elizabeth Ford. So after 3 quarters, it is a 30-27 ball game. Unfortunately for Laurel Highlands, only 5 points scored in that quarter. The Lady Warriors, though, only good for 8. 4 of those points in quarter number 3 coming from Kaylin Settles, who took something of a long break in that quarter. She's also playing with 3. And a couple of made foul shots for the Lady Warriors in that frame as well. Elizabeth Ford has done a very good job tonight at sharing the wealth, so to speak. They have a total of 6 different players who have scored so far tonight. Jellison's still their leading scorer. She has 7. She scored all 7 of those, Bill, in the first quarter. Since then, the Lady Mustangs have not surrendered anything to her, although, to be fair, she did leave the game for a little while with an injury.
Yeah, and she's still hampered out there. You can see her shaking her elbow around, and I mean, luckily for her, it's her non-shooting elbow, but, you still got to catch the ball. You still got to, protect the ball a lot with your off arm. So, she's in quite a bit of pain, but she's fighting through. She's being a Lady Warrior, if you will.
Yes, she really does seem to be embracing that, certainly. The mascot, of course, for the Elizabeth Ford, the Warriors, the Lady Warriors here tonight against the Lady Mustangs on South Union Township Sports Network. We want to thank you again for checking us out. It's going to be Lady Warriors basketball to start. They're working right to left in their home white uniform. The Lady Mustangs will work left to right in the final frame in their visiting red uniform. Good color
Josh,
contrast.
And I don't know if that error was correct. I believe they had a jump ball early in the third quarter that went their way.
And you know what, Bill? I think not only are you right, but I think they've had some trouble with the arrow tonight. Two different times I've seen officials come over and question the arrow as Harris gets a block and then saves it to Jenkins. Remember that play if Laurel Highlands can cash in some points here.
And nice play there by Harris.
Here's a wide open look to Jenkins. Jellison overplays it, but the ball rolls out. Jenkins has his shot roll right out. It looked like it was going down and somehow defied gravity, came right back out. 7:15 to play. Inside look to Jellison against Sumter. Jellison's going to get the easy take here for two as Sumter avoids committing a foul, and it's a 5-point game. The Lady Mustangs with Sumter handling the basketball. Zombeck going to be matched up with her and move with her even as the pass goes to the right to Swartfager. Going to go to Harris. Harris offered a screen. Instead, she gets the pass. Now Harris splits defenders on the take. And some contact there at the end, Bill. No call. Ball saved by Laurel Highlands to Irwin for three. No good off the base of the rim. And Settles comes out with it. Settles, 1-on-2, weaving her way through. Goes up off the glass. No good. And Swartfager and Settles are tied up and then tackled to the floor. And I hope Swartfager is okay as she was at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, Settles involved in another tackle out there, Josh. I don't know how these plays keep happening, but yeah, that ball will go to the Lady Mustangs on the possession arrow. But there's a lot of contact on that last possession, Josh, for no call either way.
We've seen that happen quite a few times tonight. Thankfully, so far, no one any worse for the wear. Ball moved into Sumter. Sumter going to weave back and forth center lane, gets a screen from Irwin, comes to our wing where Dawson waits for her. Dawson now in movement. Going to move with Sumter. Sumter keeps the ball way out, away from the three-point arc. Going to let this play develop. Swartfager comes up top of the key, receives the pass, now the drive. Swartfager on the drive, going to be blocked by Jellison. Loose ball goes to Settles. Settles gets it back to Zombeck. 6:12 to play here in quarter number 4. It's going to be Zombeck to Settles, working the ball away from us. It's stolen by Harris. Harris has got it across the timeline. Harris looking for help, working against Hysteric. She's going to find it in Sumter. Sumter on the drive, and it's an offensive foul call, Bill.
Wow, that's a tough one. Sumter driving the hoop. Good take by, I didn't catch the number of the player that took it, but nice.
I believe it was Zombeck.
I mean, that's what you got to do. You know, teams getting foul trouble, you step in there, maybe get one of those calls, and that's a game changer there. Now, Sumter got to play the rest of the game with 4.
Sumter will have to be very, very careful as the Lady Warriors gain the timeline. Zombeck to Dawson, now back to Hysteric. Coming our way to Dawson, trying to go to the corner to Jellison. And Coach Noah Yarton for Elizabeth Ford wants a touch here.
Nobody knows if it was tipped or not. The coach thinks it was tipped.
Laurel Highlands basketball.
Well, Josh, put him work with that one. I think that one went in our favor.
And the Elizabeth Ford spectators, not a fan of that call.
Very vocal out here.
They are very vocal, very loud. Great atmosphere, though. This is the kind of atmosphere you want. Richardson going to receive the pass, and we'll set this play up for Laurel Highlands. She gets the ball to Harris. Harris momentarily faces a double team. Now just Hysteric stays with her. Back to Richardson for 3 off the glass. No good. Rebound is going to be pulled down by Hysteric. Richardson is in the game for Sumter. Coming back the other way, Zombeck. Zombeck to Jellison, now up top to Hysteric. It's a good look by Hysteric, but she can't finish. She misses the shot over top of Jenkins, and it's a rebound for Taylor Irwin. Now here's Harris and Hysteric. Contact, and more contact, and they're going to get Hysteric as she tried to reach around and pick Harris's pocket.
You know, Josh, it looked like Harris hooked her a little bit. We might want to try to get somebody else to handle the ball a little bit. They're giving Harris all kind of pressure out here.
We have a full timeout taken here by somebody, and it's going to be taken by the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs head coach Stuart Davis now has 2 full timeouts remaining. Elizabeth Ford has nearly their full complement. Well, Bill, I wanted to share this with you. I had been doing some research about Elizabeth Ford, and of course I had shared Elizabeth Ford School District, Elizabeth, PA, the borough, Elizabeth Township, and Forward Township, which is where the name Elizabeth Ford comes from. Forward Township was named after a one-time U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, Walter Forward. Now, Walter Forward was born in Connecticut, lived most of his life in Pittsburgh, so he was, of course, well known in this area. He was the Secretary of Treasury for the 10th President of the United States, John Tyler. Now, he was the 10th president. This is the 1840s, Bill.
Okay.
The 10th president of the United States, John Tyler, for whom Walter Ford was the Secretary of Treasury. That president has a surviving grandson who lives in Virginia.
Wow.
John Tyler was born in 1790. He has a surviving grandson who is 96 years old. Harrison Tyler lives in Virginia.
Well, I've been waiting for the presidential tidbits, and there it is. Thank you for that, Josh.
You're welcome. Just incredible to
that is incredible.
have a grandfather born in 1790. John Tyler, 10th president. Here's the ball coming back the other way. Swartfeger has a target, and Jenkins going to back her way up, goes up for two, off the front of the rim, no good. And this one is going to go to Elizabeth Ford as the ball escapes Irwin, and Bittner doesn't touch it. So it's 32-27, 4:58 to play coming off that full timeout.
Yeah, Jenkins just left that one a little bit short.
Right now, the Lady Warriors, who have a two-possession advantage, can afford to play a little more slowly when afforded the opportunity. Here's Jellison, a big pass to Bittner, coming our way to Settles. Settles drives across the top of the key, then goes to Zombeck. Zombeck nearly traveled there. Now she wants to drive against Swartfeger, goes up over top of Swartfeger and Harris. No good. Rebound Swartfeger. Swartfeger going to take the right lane, trying to push this one ahead to Jenkins. Settles gets a finger in there and knocks it away.
Yeah, Josh, I'd like to see the Lady Mustangs push a little bit. You know, the Warriors are playing so good in the half court on defense. You know, you got to try to get a bucket somehow, and I think that's your best chance right now to push it once you get that defensive rebound.
Scoring update from Geibel and Clareton, 48-47 in that game after three quarters. Thank you. That update coming to us from Brian Morozak. Thank you, Brian. Here's Jenkins coming back the other way, and it won't bounce down. And somebody's got to take a lid off of that rim. The Mustangs just cannot quite get the ball to drop through. 4:22 to play. Lady Warriors basketball. Sumter back in the game. Just over 4 minutes as Zombeck crosses the timeline, and the Lady Warriors let this one develop. A cut from Settles, and now Jellison will come up and take the ball. Near high post, passes away to Sesteric, then back to Jellison. Jellison going to drive across high post and drive through, and I think Harris probably got her at the back end of that play. No good on the shot. Indeed, they will call this against Harris. That is her second. And so Jellison will go to the foul line.
Yeah, Josh, the Lady Mustangs with just 5 points in the second half and almost a quarter and a half. So they got to get the ball in the bucket somehow, some way. Jellison misses another foul shot. She's struggling from the line.
2 of 5 so far tonight.
So Lady Mustangs got to be ready for a defensive rebound here.
Jellison will come set. Usually good for 18 points a game. Right now she has 9. Looking for 10. Shots on the way. And it bounces out. Strong rebound by Sumter inside. Sumter going to have the outlet picked off by Sesteric, who fires one to Bittner. Bittner pulls down a 3, goes to Jellison for 3. This one rolls out, and it's going to be scooped up first by Jenkins and then to Sumter. Sumter going to move the ball across the Jenkins our wing, pulls up a long jump shot. This one is good. And the Mustangs needed that. Jenkins has 14, 3:37 to play here in quarter number 4. 32-29. The Lady Mustangs need a stop here for sure, as the Lady Warriors can really start to slow down. But they won't slow down here. Corner shot. Bittner, no good. Rebound initially goes to Jenkins. It's slapped away by Settles.
Yeah, nice pull-up by Jenkins on the last possession, Josh. Jellison was setting up for the charge. She just pulled up and sank the jumper. Then on the defensive boards right there were Settles knocking it out of bounds. You know, she's always around that ball, so you got to be careful with her out there.
Full timeout taken by Elizabeth Ford head coach Noah Yarton. The Lady Warriors lead 32-29. Let's take a look at the scoring to this point as we are in the final minutes of this contest. Jenkins leading the Lady Mustangs with 14, 6 points for Sumter, 3 points for Harris, 2 points for Swartfeger, and 4 points for Taylor Irwin. On the Elizabeth Ford side, their leading scorer remains Michelle Jellison, who has 9 points, 6 points each for Sesteric and Settles, 5 points for Zombeck, 4 points for Bittner, 2 points for Stazak, the freshman who checked in place of Jellison when Jellison left the game with injury in the third quarter. Stazak knocked down both of the foul shots she took once entering the game, and That's how she got her 2 points tonight. So far, the Lady Mustangs have not made a trip to the foul line, where they have been very good, mind you. They have not made a foul shot, since the first quarter. Jenkins in the first quarter alone was 4 of 5. Sumter 2 of 2. Elizabeth Ford has hit and missed from the foul line tonight, most recently missing. And we're going to see some pressure here offered by the Lady Warriors. Still, aside from Sumter, no one in serious foul trouble. Harris to Swartfager, back to Harris. Now Swartfager going to try the sideline. Sesteric nearly knocks one down. This ball going to stay with the Lady Mustangs. Harris wanted to get it to Swartfager, and Sesteric came charging through and nearly batted the ball to herself. 3:15 left in this game. Harris going to try the other way this time. To Swartfager, now back to Harris. One more to Swartfager. Swartfager looking for help, gets it to Harris. We need the timeline, and we need it soon. Harris going to get there. Now to Swartfager. Swartfager draws some contact from Settles, loses the ball, picked up by the Lady Warriors. Coming back the other way, no good on the layup by Settles. Sumter gets the rebound, fights it out, goes to Harris. Big touchdown throw to Jenkins, is batted away by Bittner, and this one is going to stay with Laurel Highlands. 3-point game.
Bittner with a nice player, knocked that pass down, or we were looking at a layup.
Ball going to be moved in here. Swartfager to Jenkins. Jenkins keeps it way out near the timeline. Very little scoring here in quarter number 4. That's to say the least. 1 bucket each way, and that's it. Jenkins looking for some help. Goes to Sumter, and Sumter's going to draw the foul as she crashes through the lane. And finally, the Lady Mustangs are back at the foul line.
Yeah, nice cut there by Sumter. Good pass by Jenkins and get it to her.
And Bill, this is a big foul call because that is 4 on Kaylin Settles, the 5'6" junior who always seems to be everywhere at once.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Lady Warrior team is a different team without her on the court too, so that would be a big one if you could draw this 5th.
Sumter misses the first one. Sumter 2 of 3 now from the foul line, looking to go 3 of 4, and she will. 2-point basketball game. 2:35 to play. Zombeck again taking her time. The Lady Warriors are in no hurry. They lead by a basket. Ball now with Jellison. Fires a pass over to the far sideline to Bittner. Now they bring it back to Sesteric. Sesteric coming our way to Zombeck to a wide open. Settles for 3. This one no good. Bounces sky high. Jenkins pulls down the rebound, but then falls and will be called with a travel.
Yeah, good rebound by Jenkins. She just couldn't get her footing when she came down with it.
She came down in some pretty heavy traffic. Zombeck going to send this one in from the A and Warriors on the baseline. She wants Jellison, but then goes to Sesteric. Now to Jellison. Jellison for 3. This is way off the mark. It's an easy rebound for Irwin. Irwin to Swartfager. The ball hits Swartfager in the head, but she's able to save it before it hits the sideline and gets back to Irwin. Irwin will get to the timeline before the 10 seconds expire. Now here's a pass to the opposite wing from Jenkins to Sumter. Sumter for 3. No good. Rebound pulled down by Settles. Settles to Zombeck. And now with 1:45 to play, this is a 2-point game. Zombeck going to slow things down, bring it to Sesteric. Now pass, our corner, Jellison wanted to give and go. Look there to Sesteric. It's a loose ball, a couple of players on the floor. The ball goes to Zombeck. Zombeck wants to try a little drive, thinks better of it, goes Settles, then Bittner for 3. Bittner off the mark. Rebound will be awarded to Elizabeth Ford off of Sumter. It was Sumter, Harris, and Sesteric all in on it. And I thought maybe Harris had it.
Yeah, just went off of Sumter's pink shoes.
2 points separate these two teams. What a battle it's been. 1:22 to play. Harris and Sesteric. Here's a cut by Settles. And Settles is wide open to receive that pass and lay it down. 1:14 to play. It's a 4-point game. The Lady Mustangs are looking for a basket. Pass goes to Sumter. Handed off to Harris. Harris bringing the ball down the floor. Zombeck trying to force her right. She gets a screen from Jenkins. Here's a 3-point look. It rattles out, Bill. And the rebound is going to be
in and out. And that jump ball.
Pulled down by Settles, a jump ball. As Settles is tied up, I think we're going to get a timeout here by somebody. both teams, I think, are ready to take one. And it's going to go to Laurel Highlands. Laurel Highlands had the 2 full timeouts left, so I suspect they're going to be using one here. And we'll wait for the official. Yes, indeed, that is what's reported. A full timeout taken by head coach Stuart Davis. We want to thank Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. So far, we have a 4-3 advantage for Elizabeth Forward in quarter number 4. They led by 3, 30-27 after 3 frames. Here in this fourth quarter, they have increased their lead by 1. Both teams have a player with 4 fouls. Kaylin Settles for the Lady Warriors and Ariana Sumter for the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs. And right now, Bill, it really comes down to a minute, a little less than actually 56 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, you know, a really fun game to watch and do, Josh. You know, it's the Lady Mustangs, they need a couple turnovers here late, but, you know, I think they can do it. They have the skill. See what they do here with the full court press.
They definitely have the skill, they have the athleticism, and they do have some size too. Zombek going to go to Sesterik. Ball comes right back to Zombek. Zombek going to nearly lose the ball to Swartfeger, and now Harris is going to pick up the foul here as Zombek tries to weave her way to the sideline. Harris has 3.
That's the 3rd team foul. They got one more to give before the Lady Warriors are in the bonus.
Elizabeth Ford has not been great from the foul line tonight. They've certainly missed their fair share. Here's a ball to Sesterik. It's stolen by Harris. Harris to Sumter. Sumter for 2, and she's got it. It's a 2-point game with 40 seconds. And a timeout taken by Zombek on the baseline, a full timeout.
What a steal by Harris, Josh, and a pass. That pass I didn't think had a chance to get to Sumter. Sumter somehow came up with it and got the layup.
Well, what's incredible about that, Bill, I agree, the pass to Sumter looked like it was going to be intercepted. Then Sumter basically had to tip it to herself in order to save the ball. Then really, you know, did not have a great location in regard to the basket. She's able to swoop around and get that ball off the glass. It's a great shot. And now it's 34-32. And the Lady Mustangs, they need one more big steal. They do have a foul to give. And aside from Sumter, they have no one with more than 3 fouls. Harris has 3, Swartfeger has 2, Irwin has 1. On the Lady Warriors side, Settles has 4 and Sesterik has 3.
And looking at the timeout situation, the Lady Mustangs have 1 left and the Lady Warriors have 2, so that's more than likely going to come into play these last 34 seconds.
Indeed. Head coach Stuart Davis for the Lady Mustangs has a full timeout at his disposal. Coach Noah Yarton for Elizabeth Forward has a 30-second timeout and a full timeout. He just took a full timeout. And we're going to see what was known back in the day as the Jordan press breaker. This is exactly what that is. Ball going to come in, and here's a quick foul. We'll see who they get. Ball comes into Zombek, who immediately draws contact. And this is going to go against Jenkins, which is probably good news for the Lady Mustangs that they did not get Harris there. And the Lady Warriors are going to set up again in that same press breaker, so we're going to see cuts to the corners. Here goes the cut. Ball goes to Zombek. Swartfeger nearly able to take the ball away.
Wow.
And instead, she's going to be called with a foul. And it will be Zombek who will be shooting.
Has she went to the line tonight yet, Josh?
She has. She's 1 of 2 from the line tonight.
We'll take that. You know, lots of time left, so Lady Mustangs don't have to worry about a 3 or anything like that, even if she makes both. Just get a bucket of some sort.
Zombek, Chloe Zombek, the 5'9" senior guard. First shot on the way. That one's about perfect as you can be.
And that one looked good. Cool, calm, and collective at the line.
Zombek, second shot on its way. This one also good. That makes it a 4-point game. The Lady Mustangs need some offense here. Harris going to push this one ahead. Passes to the corner to Swartfager. Swartfager to Jenkins. Jenkins across high post will go to Sumter. We're going to need a shot here soon. Swartfager pulls one down, is looking for Harris. Now Harris going to find her way to the corner where she's blocked by Jellison, and the loose ball goes to Settles, and Irwin gets the quick foul on Zombeck. But Bill, we're down to 15 seconds. The Lady Mustangs not quite able to generate the kind of shot they wanted on that last possession.
Yeah, that possession just took too long for them to get up a shot, Josh. You know, you want to get a quick one. You know, they dribbled around a little bit, passed a little too much in my opinion, but before Harris was able to get that 3-point attempt off, they're back to the line for 2 for Zombeck.
Zombeck has one ride the rim and then sink through the basket. 15.1 seconds, a 5-point game. Shot on the way from Zombeck. This one's no good. Rebound Jenkins. Jenkins gets it to Sumter. 12 seconds on the clock. Sumter across the timeline. She wants to get it to Harris, and she will. Harris going to momentarily lose the ball, trying to save it to Sumter, and the loose ball is still bouncing between players. Harris got it, but with just 2 seconds on the clock, Harris launches one at the glass, and that's going to do it. 37-32, your final score. The Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs held to just 10 points in the second half. Elizabeth Ford, the Lady Warriors, were good for 15 in the second half. That's the difference in the game. This one was tied 22-all at halftime. And from that point onward, it was a 15-10 game in favor of Elizabeth Ford. We're going to total up points for you here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Bill, a really spirited effort between both teams. I hate to say this because you don't want to immediately start looking for excuses, but the Lady Mustangs did have 5 points wiped off of this game on the whistle, on the over and back call where Harris picks it off, lays it in for 2. Then Harris hits the 3 in the second half. They call the travel. Yeah, those 5 points tie the game.
Yeah, you know, it's tough calls, Josh, but, you know, I think this game is what we and everyone expected. A tight game, you know, competitive, you know, a little bit different from last game. Last game we saw a lot more scoring. So this was a lot more defensive game, and I think, like I said earlier, I think this game was more about the defense, not the offense not being good. You know, so Lady Mustangs, they face Southmoreland on Thursday. We'll have that one for you. And the Lady Mustangs just got to get back, right the ship, right, and get ready for, you know, gear up for the playoffs, the rest of the regular season and the playoffs.
And that game later this week is probably a good opportunity for the Lady Mustangs to right the ship and get back in the win column. To look at how this one played out, Laurel Highlands finishes the game with 32, 14 in the first, 8 in the second, 5 in the third, 5 in the fourth. They were led by Ayara Jenkins, who had 14 points, 12 of those in the first half, 9 points from Ariana Sumter, who did manage to close out the game with the 4 fouls. She did not foul out, as Bill and I were concerned at a few moments. She might pick up that 5th foul a little too early. Taylor Irwin, 4 points. Maya Harris, 3 points. Taylor Swartfager, 2 points. The scoring in the fourth quarter for the Lady Mustangs done by Sumter and Jenkins. They combined for the 5 points the Lady Mustangs scored in the final frame. For the Lady Warriors, a total of 37. They scored 15 in the first, 7 in the second, 8 in the third, 7 in the final quarter. 9 points scored by Michelle Jellison, who scored 7 in the first. Of course, she did miss some time over the course of the game with injury. 8 points for Settles, 8 points for Zombeck, who was 3 of 4 from the foul line in that final quarter. 6 points for Mia Sesterik, 4 points from McKenna Bittner, and 2 points from Kaylin Stazak. In the entire game, Bill, we did see, I think, certainly a reasonable number of 3-point shots taken. Over the course of the entire game, each team had just 1 made 3.
And I mean, I think that's just shows on the scoreboard, 37-32. I mean, if we went back and looked at the box score from last game, I'm sure both teams made at least 5 threes. So that's the big difference in probably the scoring.
We want to thank our sponsors of Final Time, Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialists, now part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Again, our final score tonight, 37-32. You've been watching the South Union Township Sports Network. For Bill Dice, this is Joshua Scully. Thank you for checking us out. You'll hear us again later this week. Thursday evening, today's game on the South Union Township Sports Network was a joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Hey, everyone, have a wonderful evening. Stay warm and stay safe. You will hear us again on Thursday.